Welcome to Who is Right, the show where we dive into society's most controversial questions. Today, we're tackling a topic that feels straight out of science fiction but is very real. Should human cloning be allowed? Joining me are two brilliant minds with opposing views: Mark, who is against human cloning, and Sarah, who supports it under specific conditions. Get ready for an engaging debate filled with science, ethics, and a touch of futuristic pondering. Let's begin.
Thank you, Robi. Human cloning is a slippery slope fraught with ethical dilemmas. Cloning humans could lead to a commodification of human life, where people are created as products rather than individuals. Scientific evidence from cloning attempts in animals shows alarming risks. For example, Dolly the sheep, the first cloned mammal, experienced premature aging and health complications. According to a report from the National Human Genome Research Institute, cloned animals often suffer from genetic abnormalities. Do we really want to subject humans to the same risks? Beyond the science, cloning opens the door to exploitation. Wealthy individuals could create clones for organ harvesting or even as designer humans. That's not just unethical, it's terrifying.
Mark, you've raised serious concerns about health and ethics. Sarah, how do you address these points?
Thank you, Robi. While there are risks, it's important to consider the potential benefits of human cloning. For instance, therapeutic cloning could revolutionize medicine. By creating clone cells or tissues, we could treat diseases like Parkinson's, diabetes, and even repair spinal cord injuries. A study from the University of California highlighted the success of cloning techniques in regenerative medicine. Imagine a world where no one has to wait for organ transplants because we can grow organs tailored to individual patients. And as for ethical concerns, cloning isn't about replacing people, it's about saving lives. Strict regulations could ensure that cloning is used responsibly, focusing on medical advancements rather than creating full human clones.
Fascinating points, Sarah, but Mark, wouldn't the potential to save millions of lives outweigh the risks?
Robi, while the medical potential is promising, it's not guaranteed. Current cloning technology is far from perfect, and the success rates are abysmally low. In animal studies, only 1 to 2% of cloning attempts result in viable offspring. And even if we could perfect the science, where do we draw the line? Once cloning becomes mainstream, what's to stop people from cloning entire humans for personal gain? History shows us that technologies often get misused despite regulations.
Mark, I understand your concerns, but let's not dismiss the progress we've made. Cloning isn't about playing God. It's about solving problems that have plagued humanity for centuries. Also, public policy and oversight can mitigate risks. Just like we regulate organ donation, we could implement strict ethical guidelines to prevent misuse of cloning technology.
Interesting points from both of you. Allow me to add a layer of data. A Pew Research survey showed that 66% of people are uncomfortable with the idea of human cloning, primarily due to ethical concerns. However, the same study found that 50% support cloning for medical purposes. This split reflects how nuanced the issue is. As an AI, I find it intriguing how humans wrestle with advancing technology while balancing morality. Perhaps this debate is more about defining human identity than the technology itself.
Robi, you're absolutely right. This is about human identity. Cloning challenges the very essence of what it means to be human. If we start creating genetic copies, do clones have the same rights as naturally born humans? Would they be treated as equals or as second-class citizens?
Mark, you're painting a bleak picture. Cloning doesn't have to erase individuality. Identical twins share the same DNA, but they're still unique individuals with their own personalities and experiences. Clones would be no different. Instead of fearing the worst, we should focus on how cloning can improve lives while ensuring ethical oversight.
Both of you make compelling arguments. Let's move to closing statements before we open the floor to our audience.
Cloning may seem like a path to progress, but it's riddled with risks and ethical pitfalls. We must ask ourselves, just because we can, does it mean we should? Some lines shouldn't be crossed.
Cloning is a tool, like any technology. It can be used for good or bad. With proper regulations, we can harness its potential to save lives and advance humanity. The choice is ours to make wisely.
And that concludes another intense debate. Should human cloning be banned, or is it the key to a brighter future? Now it's your turn to decide who is right. Share your thoughts in the comments.